So we're talking today about music and art and culture and nightlife in New Orleans. And even for someone who is a jaded lifelong New Yorker, I must tell you that I found New Orleans to be nothing short of spectacular. Just a lot of fun in a very fully enjoyable way. There's lots of music to be heard in New Orleans. The place to start is at Preservation Hall, which is right off Bourbon Street. Preservation Hall is a facility that was created to do just that, preserve the tradition and history of jazz, which had its birth in New Orleans. And every night there are 4 or 5 45-minute concerts. You buy a ticket for one 45-minute concert, and the performers rotate throughout the year. So you get to see lots of different great musicians, some of them who live in New Orleans, some who are just visiting. To tell you about how primitive the place is, there are no bathrooms in Preservation Hall. There is no food or beverage served in Preservation Hall. The focus is on nothing but the music. And the night I was there, I got to hear an 86-year-old saxophone player with an amazing rendition of Somewhere Over the Rainbow. It felt like a very authentic jazz experience. If you venture out onto Bourbon Street, which is that very famous street everybody hears about in New Orleans, it's quite rowdy and raucous. As opposed to places where they say you cannot carry bottles of alcohol or whiskey in public, virtually everyone seems to be walking down Bourbon Street drinking something, and they're not drinking hot coffee. But most of the clubs that you see on Bourbon Street are actually playing all sorts of music, dance music, hip-hop music, music from the 70s or 80s. Some places have a small cover charge, some do not. But because it's all in such close proximity, all of 5 or 6 blocks long, you're able to just wander from one place to another. And if you find something you like, you stay. And if it's not exactly your cup of tea, you move on. There are some beautiful hotels located in the French Quarter, and if you will go into the hotels, you will see a more traditional feeling of a dinner club or cabaret or nightclub, where there is a cover charge and there is a minimum, and you're getting to see a very high level of music, but you're seeing it together with some, I will say, well-heeled patrons who are dressy for the evening, for a nice night out. The other direction to go in while staying in the French Quarter is to the east end of the French Quarter and to visit Frenchman Street. Frenchman Street is an area 2 or 3 blocks long where literally every single storefront is another music venue. A little bit less raucous than Bourbon Street, a little bit less alcohol and whiskey being carried openly on the street. The music, though, is absolutely spectacular. You can see ragtime, Dixieland, traditional jazz, rock and roll, anything you like. And for the most part, there is no cover. You just go in, you listen. If you're interested, you can buy a drink and just enjoy the evening. Scattered throughout Greater New Orleans are lots of other venues for music. There are some burlesque shows, if that's what interests you. And it all makes for a very, very nice way to end the day after a full day of sightseeing and perhaps going on a riverboat cruise or a swamp tour or a plantation tour. You can listen to music late into the night. So if your plans take you to New Orleans, enjoy the daytime and enjoy the nighttime, because my takeaway is, even though Mardi Gras is only one day a year, there is a mini Mardi Gras virtually every night of the year in the Big Easy. Enjoy your trip, and we'll see you again soon.